Meghan Markle was just placed on a blacklist. Yes, Netflix is no longer grinning. The royal brilliance did not impress them. The brightness had really given way to tension, excessive drama, a lack of success, and an embarrassing and heated behind-the-scenes encounter that led insiders to conclude, yeah, we're done. It wasn't even sugar-coated by one executive. They essentially declared, this is the end. Meghan abruptly transformed from the glittering new queen of Hollywood to the girl whom no one wanted a seat at their table. Because Netflix eventually got enough of all the cameras, drama, and hype. And believe me, what will happen next? There is nothing that can prepare you for the intensity of the tea. This is the tea, then. Netflix didn't act out. A news conference was not called. Not even a farewell flag was waved by them. No, not at all. They took a much cooler action. Quietly, they canceled Meghan. Similar to when someone stops responding to your texts, but continues to share selfies on the internet. That sort of chill. Insiders said that the Christmas special wasn't a celebration behind closed doors. It was a deception. One last message concealed in a Christmas goodie. This is the parting. It was referred to as the closing credits by executives. They were well aware that the show was over. No wonderful holiday miracle, no great comeback, and no third season. On the exterior, there was only a kind smile, and on the inside, there was silence. The huge Royal Hollywood contract known as the Mega Deal, which marked the beginning of the Sussex period. Yes, Netflix is establishing that as well. They didn't even consider renewing it when it ended in September 2025. The fairy tale broke at that point. The moment when the greatest platform in the world determined Meghan wasn't the celebrity she thought she was, not trending, not trusted, not worth renewing. The royal countdown was now at 0. If Netflix was going out, it would be in a disorganized manner. Now for the kiss. In the last teaser, Meghan abruptly drags Harry in like a mother bringing a child into a family portrait he does not want to be in. It's an awkward, embarrassing, please look love for the camera moment. He wasn't even considering romance, Harry. The man's attention was on his meal. He appeared to have just woken up, got lost, and unintentionally stumbled into the filming. Oh honey, his hairline. People stated it looked worse than they had ever seen. He seemed to have been dragged through a hedge backwards, according to one commenter. Whoa. Meghan was stiff-jawed, flinching as if even she didn't want the kiss, but she wanted the video, while Harry appeared to want to vanish into his breakfast bowl. It wasn't delicious. It wasn't romantic. It was a performance. A moment to show the cameras that you adore me. In his own marriage, Harry served as a prop and a supporting actor. And since they were aware of the reality, Netflix made the most of that moment. Harry is a seller. Drama is popular. Embarrassment is a selling point. It wasn't a love tale, that kiss. It used as a promotional tool. The worst part is that Harry didn't even appear to be aware that he was in the trailer. It wasn't simply uncomfortable. It was embarrassing. Thus, energy began to permeate Hollywood like drama perfume following the Netflix split. Meghan refrained from sobbing into a pillow. Oh no. When the audience stopped applauding, she did what every villain on a reality show does. She turned. Her new keyword wasn't Hollywood, royal, or even inspirational all of a sudden. Mom was there. According to insiders, she was developing a whole new strategy. A massive mother empire with lifestyle branding, parenting tips, family-friendly content, high-end merchandise, and maybe even television programs on children and domestic life. In her Christmas special, she included small hints such as breadcrumbs, cozy moments, domestic crafts, warm lighting, and family vibes, but it didn't seem warm, cozy, or familial. Behind the scenes, people said that it seemed like a soft opening for something significant, such as her attempt to take over as CEO of Mom World. Here's the twist, though, that makes it all weird. Meghan is not perceived by the public as a hands-on mother. It is evident from the transcript. For extended periods, she leaves the children in the care of nannies. Half the time, she has no idea who is observing them. She also boasted of bringing her daughter into a 5-minute business meeting. It's not quite the cozy cookie and bedtime story parent image she's trying to promote. If you don't even consume bread, it would be like starting a bakery. However, money talks. And you take any new headgear you can find, even if it reads Mom Boss, when your Netflix crown falls off. because the message was evident behind the glitter. It had nothing to do with motherhood. This has to do with marketability. Additionally, Meghan had no intention of stopping at crafts and cozy vibes. Oh no, it was going to become much more intimate. Harry was dealing with a different type of narrative twist, a financial one, while Meghan was drawing up her mommy globe empire. Do you recall the days when Harry represented the royal family, stood alongside foreign leaders, and gave speeches about global issues? He is scheduled to deliver a keynote address to real estate brokers in the present day. Yes, not world leaders, not presidents, not diplomats, not Toronto real estate brokers. Additionally, they had to pay to go. The cost of the tickets was very high. To sit in a room and listen to Harry discuss housing policy and the Canadian economy, people had to shell out a substantial sum of money. A royal prince who actually grew up in palaces is discussing mortgages and home supplies. It was providing the incorrect job, class, and script. And it didn't end there. We must be reminded of this. Harry barely received two as when he graduated from school. One involved a teacher's assistance. He has no prior experience in business, finance, or real estate. What made him stand on that stage, then? Money, in one word. Because you can't be fussy when you're no longer protected by royal servants, when Hollywood doesn't call, or when Netflix closes the door. At that point, his new title became brutally apparent. Prince is up for sale, not the type of royal jewels. The pay-to-speak, pay-to-play, pay-to-show-up model. This had nothing to do with reputation. This was the means of survival. Additionally, Meghan's next move appeared to have greater potency the more desperate Harry appeared. Because people start looking for everything they can profit from when money is limited. Even children, even titles, even relatives. This is the point at which the narrative sharpens. Because something intriguing occurred just as the financial stress reached a red alert. Suddenly, Harry and Meghan decided that their children should become princes and princesses. Recall that they previously stated that they were not interested in titles. They want a typical childhood. They claimed that the palace blocked the titles and was unjust, even racist. However, as soon as things became uncertain, titles were asserted, royal status was guaranteed, and brand value was unleashed. And why is that important? Because titles are more than just fancy names. They are selling gold. Princess and Prince, a family brand with royal glitter items associated with royal children, is part of this parenting empire. It's not a coincidence. That's a model for a business. The double standard followed. On social media, they cautioned people about children, yet Meghan shared pictures of them every week. They used their photos to sell sage and honey after claiming protection. After discussing privacy, they shared anecdotes about their kids to get attention. It had nothing to do with parenting. It was packing. It was brand first, not family first. The entire planet sensed it. It was obvious what the tone was. They weren't raising the children. They were being rolled out. Because you search for the next big thing when the huge offers run out. In this tale, the product's last name was Sussex, and it was associated with royal titles. Thus, something completely different was taking place across the royal universe while Meghan and Harry were going around in circles, canceled concerts, embarrassing trailers, and money scramble. The Princess of Wales, Catherine, enters. Now, this is a plot twist nobody could overlook. Due to her cancer battle, Catherine has been out of the public eye for some time. No cameras, no phony crafts with strangers, no manufactured kisses, just health, family, and healing. Real life suffering and hardship. Then she returned, but not with a look-at-me brand drop, a lifestyle special, or a PR stunt. She returned with a purpose, speaking to leaders, businesses, and significant organizations about real topics like helping families, parents, and employees on a real platform. Big, clever thing that has an impact on the lives of actual people. Love is more important than achievement, according to her message. More important than celebrity is family. She talked with poise, assurance, and sincerity. And the prominent grown-ups in the crowd listened. She didn't drag someone into a kiss, force a moment, or crave attention. Rather, she did it out of respect. And that's the joke. Catherine was behaving like a potential queen of the nation, while Meghan was attempting to seem like the queen of mommy branding. One was pretending to be a mother. It was being guarded by the other. Staging a comfortable image was one. The other was bringing about actual change. It was similar to placing a synthetic crown next to an actual gem. And Meghan's kingdom began to resemble a costume once people noticed that difference. Because pursuing attention and gaining adoration are two very different things, both in the royal realm and, to be honest, in any environment. The problem with celebrity is this. It's almost tough to regain people's respect once they stop taking you seriously. And that's just what Meghan and Harry began to experience. Do you recall a time when just their names could make headlines and cause a stir on the internet? When every interview, every photo, every rumor felt like a worldwide event. Yes, that vitality has vanished. They are now being discussed as the joke's punchline rather than like royalty. Harry's former classmates make fun of him. His speeches are questioned. His credentials are questioned. Meghan's program is termed dull. Her brand is dubbed a failure, and her material is written off as meaningless. Just noise, no mystery, no charm, no glitter. Because respect has nothing to do with contracts or cameras. It has to do with credibility. And theirs was gradually disappearing like sand passing through an hourglass. Other influential people began to take notice when Netflix pulled back. What did it say if the world's largest streamer refused to renew them? That the investment was not worthwhile? That the experiment didn't work? That the excitement had subsided? Netflix didn't need to shout it out loud. It was an obvious message. Their worth has diminished. As assets for Hollywood, not as people. And the worst blow of all in that environment is losing worth. Because celebrity doesn't come to an abrupt end. It shrugs silently and falls. People cease to care. People cease to watch. People lose faith. And the spotlight goes out when the crowd looks away.